If you or a loved one are struggling with type 2 diabetes, you should visit the link in the description below. This clinically proven, drug-free program lowers blood sugar to a normal level and can completely reverse type 2 diabetes within just a few weeks. Here's today's video.
The question, can someone control diabetes with diet alone? Answer by Kokong Wang. Reversing type 2 diabetes with diet alone is the best kept secret of our generation. For decades, it has been drummed into us. The reality is that it will only be progressive if we continue to eat food that drives excessive insulin responses. Type 2 diabetes starts with chronic excessive insulin response that eventually exhausts the beta cells or cause them to be so filled with fats that they become dysfunctional. As much as 5,080% of the beta cells has become dysfunctional at the point of T2D diagnosis. Dr. Defronzo, refined carbs and to some extent proteins causes excessive insulin response that drives hunger and inhibit fats utilization. By overcoming our misguided fear of fats and fasting, we will be able to lower our circulating insulin and allow us to gain access to our body fats for energy. Even without exercise. When we eat roast pork belly and pork rib soup, no sharp glucose/insulin response. Turning mountains into molehills. Answer by Gina Bowman. My friend was a severe diabetic. Her father died from it. She had nearly died from it numerous times. Her son had nearly died from it. To say it was severe was not lying. She would normally have blood sugars in the 400,500 range even with meds and diet. Low fat/sugar-free/eating completely healthy according to today's ideals on what that means. She even had an insulin pump put in and a synthetic insulin from Europe as her new med. The sugars dropped down into the 300,400 range mostly. She went to a new doc who challenged her to drop all sugar-free and low-fat foods, to use real sugar, to eat real butter, change her diet completely. She was nearly dead at this point, so she figured what the heck. She started counting carbs and eating a low-carb diet, using real sugar and real butter and eating real foods. Less processed, less junk. Her blood sugars dropped down in the 200s. She lost over 100 pounds, got off oxygen, was able to walk and talk at the same time, and became able to live life again. Her body was battling all the chemicals she was putting in it. Her body was losing the battle. Her body was so worn out from this battle that she eventually passed away, but that was after about 5 years from the time she changed her diet. My father-in-law had blockages and had to have bypass/heart surgery. He researched diets and decided to do low carbs. The cardiologist said he would be dead within 6 months. It's been 14 years and his cholesterol is still down at normal, his triglycerides are still normal, and he has no heart problems at all. His cardiologist recommends low-carb diets to many of his heart patients now. My father-in-law has bacon and eggs for breakfast most every day. He eats meat, some veggies that are lower carbs than others, and if he has cake or ice cream or candy he only has a few bites. He is healthy and doing very well. Diet is a major thing for our bodies, and yes, you should do some research. I suggest you track what goes in your mouth for 3 months. See where your nutrients and calories are coming from. Then see what changes you can make and track how your body responds to those changes. Better? Worse? Find what works for you. A combination of medications and diet could possibly help you manage your illness better. Answer by Codex1.org. The short answer is yes. You absolutely can. In fact, many people with type 2 diabetes have actually reversed the disease through diet alone. The long answer is while you can control type 2 diabetes through diet, it's not a magic bullet. No matter what the internet may tell you, it's not a matter of eat these 10 superfoods and your diabetes will be cured or take this magic supplement and your blood sugar will return to normal. It requires real commitment to getting well. And if you eat the typical American diet, with its emphasis on carbs and warnings to restrict fat, it means radically changing the way you eat.